Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and technically we're at Saturday morning, 12/11/2023. Pretty sure it's 12/11. Yep. And I'm going to a wedding tomorrow in a town I rarely go to. I've been there, but I rarely go there. And I thought I would recreate the wedding spread I did from my niece's wedding when I went in October. So, and it's very different because my niece's wedding, before the wedding, the day before, I actually did a meditation and I basically grounded myself and protected myself, and was like, if there's any spirits that want to speak, let them speak. If they're, don't have bad intentions. And then I did a spread, and the spread kind of revealed that almost like there was and I rewatched the video tonight, a paranormal guest list that there was a male and a female kind of watching over the male and the female group of the dead. And they got to choose who got to come to this wedding. And it was like very fun loving, very, I actually felt very giddy during the reading. And then I decided today at work, I said, I'm going to just put on some meditation music, do the grounding and the protection, and let any spirits in this town know, because it's a very, very small town, the town I'm going to tomorrow, know that I'm available if they want to chat or let me know anything. And it was a completely different experience. It was almost like they lined up and was like, oh my God, somebody's opening up to listen to us. And it was literally clairvoyantly scene after scene after scene of just madness. The first one was like around 1908, and I literally heard a girl scream, no, 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 really loud. She was like maybe 5, 6. And then it switched to a guy that had a very scraggly beard. He was good looking, but he was dirty, and he had like a beige uniform on, almost like, I want to say prison uniform, but I don't know if they were beige back in like 1908. I don't know if they had like real prisons back then. But I kept hearing like 1908, 1912, and I kept hearing railroad worker, and I felt like he was a road worker because there is a train that goes through that small town. So that fit. And then I kept hearing that he was falsely accused of something, and I felt like the girl had accused him of like attacking her or something, but nothing ever came of it because he was innocent. And then it switched to him as an old man. He was probably late 60s, early 70s. And I said, how did you die? And I literally immediately had a stomach cramp, and I immediately heard the words pancreatic cancer. And I got like really bad stomach pains for like 10 minutes. That was weird. And then the scene switched again. And it was like the late 1920s, maybe early 1930s. There was a young girl, maybe in her late 20s, early 30s. It was almost like there was a New Year's Eve celebration. She was in like a pink or a rose gold pink velvet flapper girl dress, and she was at a party in, I'm pretty sure, the building that I'm going to tomorrow, with a matching headband. And she had a champagne in her hand, and she was laughing very chaotically, like she was mad, like a madness had taken over her. And I felt like she was the same girl from the earlier vision I had seen that was a little girl. And then I realized the guy had been in prison, but not for like attacking anyone. Maybe it was for robbing something or something. But it wasn't for the girl, him being accused of what happened with the girl. I think the girl falsely accused him because she craved attention, and carried over into her adulthood, where she had to be the center of attention all the time, and she was laughing very maniacally, like she was crazy. And I'm like, that's interesting. And then it switched again to, I was like a young man, maybe in my early 20s, and it was like I was hungover. I woke up with my face pressed against the grass, and it was wet. I could feel the wet grass on my cheek, and I could hear water rushing by my face. And I think what happened to him is, and this is more like 1957, I was getting the year 1957. And I was hearing flooding. And I think what happened with him was he had tied one on the night before, got drunk, passed out on the riverbank or something, because the river does run right there through that town. And when he woke up, he was in the middle of the flood. And I did Google because we had a massive flood in this area in 1993, really bad, and that town got hit pretty hard. There's there's photos and everything, and so I Googled 1957 flood in this town. Sure enough, one of the worst floods they've had, other than the 1993 one, was in 1957. It literally showed the whole town underwater, and I'm like, that's insane. I was almost in tears by the time I got through the photos, because they're all black and white. It was before a lot of the town is the way it looks now, and it was just very disturbing. And then the scene switched again, and it was like the early 60s. There is a college in that town. Very ominous looking college, if you ask me, because it's literally in the middle of the woods. And it was a young black girl, very thin, very petite, very wild hair, and she was going to school there. And she was called names by these three men, who I felt later became very prominent in the school faculty. But they tortured her. They bullied her. They ripped her dress. They called her the N-word. They called her other names. They were very cruel to her, and she wound up killing herself. And I saw the scene play out where she showed up at the school, took a pistol to the temple, and shot herself in front of these men. And I could literally hear a scream in the distance, like a woman scream, because she just witnessed her killing herself. And I literally heard, "That'll show them." And I feel like of all the scenes I watched, she's the only one still physically there. She's waiting for these men to die, because I don't feel that they're dead. I feel like she's waiting for them to die so she can exact her revenge, which is very disturbing. Now, where I'm going tomorrow is not near the school, but just the fact that she came in like that it's very disturbing. And so, I just wanted to share what I went through clairvoyantly today. It was all clairvoyantly. Every now and then I would hear a shotgun or something. And it was crazy. Most of the information I just told you, I was able to find, and it was true. And I'm like, this is insane. So yeah, it was crazy. So I thought I would go ahead and do the spread I made up for the last wedding to do for you guys. And I did a meditation with this, and I grounded myself, and I did my protection. And I have not looked at the cards, but I did ask 4 questions. The first question is, how many spirits are on the paranormal guest list for tomorrow? And oh my God, I got the 5 of Pentacles. And I'm pretty sure with the last one, I got the 5 of Wands. Yeah, I watched the video. I got the 5 of Wands, so that's interesting for that question. I got a 5 again. And I actually got here, it reminds me of the images I saw of that town before it is today. Very desolate, not desolate, just very remote feeling. It may not be remote, but it feels remote. And that's what I feel here. But there is at least 6 people in this image, including him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, including him. So we could go with 7 or 5. How many did I see? 1, 2, 3. I saw 4 in my clairvoyant vision. So I would say anywhere from 4 to 7 are going to be there. And I feel like this was a town that has had it rough. It's seen its fair share of crap. So that is telling. So number 2, or number 1, number 2, what can I expect from the dead tomorrow at the wedding? And I got the King of Cups. And I swear, with the other one, I got emotions too. The King of Cups to me is the ultimate in balancing emotions. So, and I just heard buffer. Like, if there's any, because I do feel like there's a lot of residual energy, not necessarily spirits, but residual energy there. The energy to me, I think I will be the buffer between that energy and the living, because that energy is not a spirit hanging out. It's just this residual leftovers, if you will. And I think me being there will tame that down for some reason, like, because it's going to be more interested in what I'm doing there. If I feel it or not. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. I feel like I'm the buffer that's going to keep that calm. However, it does look like rough seas in the back here. It's like a huge wave coming at him. So, and that could also be the case where I get very emotional, because sometimes I do. When there's a spirit that comes to me, I get very emotional or very nauseous, which is weird. Usually I only feel weird, nauseous if they've killed themselves, so it makes sense. Number 3, number 3, what is the energy of this place? What is the energy of this place? And it's the 3 of Swords. Oh my God, a broken heart. I feel like the place we're going, my brother-in-law got married there years ago. And of course I wasn't into my spirituality or anything at that time, but considering the stuff I saw earlier today, I can very well see there's a brokenness in this area, not necessarily in the building, but in the area. There's this sadness, this brokenness, this just heaviness. And I find that interesting, because this looks like around the age the little girl is. And I feel like she's holding the bird in her hand, like she's almost like she's playing God. Like she could kill the bird and it would be the end of its life, or she could set it free. And I very much feel that energy from that little girl when she was an adult. And it was funny, because when I first saw her as a little girl going, no, 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 my mom instinct kicked in. I was like, what's happening? What do I need to do? Who do I need to fight? But then as I saw her as an adult, I realized she's showing me this, I'm innocent in all of this, when she's really not. So I find that fascinating that that's the card that popped out for that. And I don't know, maybe she's still hanging out. I feel the guys it's residual energy. They're not there. She may be, and I know the girl from the colleges, because she's pissed. She wants revenge, because none of these guys ever were held accountable for torturing her. And I even heard her say, I may have pulled the trigger, but they killed me. So she's still hanging out, maybe at the college, which is a little bit of ways from where we're going. But this little girl concerns me. And number 4, how will the energy affect the wedding? How will the energy affect the wedding? I feel like the wedding's going to go off without a hitch. There's plenty of distractions there for her, if she really is still there. That she's not going to be overly concerned with the two getting married. And it's almost like I just heard there's an overabundance of love, and that's going to outshine her madness, I guess. That's interesting. And then I did draw an oracle card this is from the Pensive Path Tarot, by the way. And then I drew a card from my, oh my God, Southern Gothic Oracle. And I drew the Salamander and it's Infinity and Reinvention. And as I was shuffling, I saw this. I said, I wonder if that would fall out. And it fell out. I just noticed it fell out. So it's quite interesting. And I feel the reinvention thing here with her, like, she's making herself out to be this sweet, innocent little girl, and she's not. She's not anymore. So that's interesting. And then I wanted to draw real quick from where'd I put it? My deck I got from, Make Playing Cards. It's like 100,000 cards with it. I love this card for past life readings and medium mystic reads. It's great for that. And it feels like that time period almost. So we have flirtation. I totally see that because, oh my God, and that looks like her. Yeah, I think she might decide to be a problem. So when I saw her as an adult and she had the champagne glass, I kept hearing New Year's. Like it's late 20s, early 30s. She's around that age also. And she's literally laughing with this hysterical, maniacal, weird, like crazy person laugh. And you even see her face for a second. Because she turns almost like toward a camera, but toward my face, where I can see her, and she's got this look on her face of utter passion for the chaos she's created, because it was like this giant party that she was at, and I did hear, and it was so loud, and it was just like hundreds of people talking and laughing and just almost like a brothel, what I feel like what a brothel would be back in those days. And she was just in the epicenter of it, like, ha ha ha, I've created all this. Isn't it fun? And I'm like, no. Because somebody's either going to take something the wrong way or get hurt or what have you. So it is quite a different experience than when I did the wedding for my niece in another town, 2 blocks from a haunted hotel, a well-known haunted hotel. I don't think anyone has ever been to the town. Any ghost hunters or anything like that have ever been to the town I'm going to tomorrow. And I don't think anybody's ever investigated the college. It looks creepy AF when you get up on it, because it's literally in the middle of the woods and nothing else around but this giant castle looking school. It's crazy. And the whole town is maybe a couple miles long. That's it. I mean, the whole town is really tiny. And it's all this stuff converging in one area. There's the river there, the train tracks there, all the stuff in one spot. So I think that's why so many were coming to me, because there's just so much happening in that one area. But I found that quite interesting. The flirtation, I totally see that happening with her, like trying to maybe stir something up. And then, of course, the girl that looks just like her. That's crazy. Crazy. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And let me know what you think. I'll talk to you later. Bye.